Hi guys, how you doing? Ooh. I've just spent the last 25 minutes looking for my ink pads, my stamp pads. Can't find them anywhere. I've got a couple here, but they're all black or nondescript. And I know I've got like different coloured ones, I just cannot remember where I put them. Just for a change. I've been playing with my camera, so hopefully that will work a little bit better as well. Let me just, hang on, I need to do that. Yeah, there we go. Let's get chat up so I can see everybody. Oh, hey guys. Rachel, Jane, Sue, Mika, Cody, hi. So I think I'm gonna play in my journal today. I'm not sure because it's near the end of the month, nearly. So I'm at that stage where I want to be starting to round off and finish off. Oh, I wonder if my stamp pads are in that drawer. It's the one place I didn't look. Hey Arthur. Before I start, what I want to do while I'm sat here, I thought I would give you this flip. This was my birthday present from Rachel, actually. But it's got some really cool pictures in it, and what I want to do is quickly flip through and just flag any pictures that I want to scan, because although the book is not out of copyright, so you're not supposed to scan it, but it's personal use, so I don't care. But a lot of the images in it, like this, are actually out of copyright. The images themselves are out of copyright. Let me just... Whoops. I'm just going to change the size of this so you can see a bit more on the screen. 1 second. Hey Beady. Okay. And there's Maddie having a funny 5 minutes. There you go, you can see more on screen now. That's better. I always have to adjust it because sometimes I have my easel and my easel is like that, so obviously I can't see the camera there, and but yeah, stuff like this is out of copyright. It's an original piece from ages ago. I can scan that. This is out of copyright. This is an old illustration, so I can't scan it from this book and resell it or anything, but I can scan it from this book and use it myself. I can do that anyway, but I have to be careful because I walk a very fine line, because although I'm doing this for myself to go in my books, I do show you my books on YouTube, so technically, in a very roundabout way, technically I do make money from it. But I'm not reselling the actual images, so I think I'm okay because it comes under teaching, and if it's for educational purposes, you are allowed to copy stuff. So, and for personal use you can anyway, so I think I'm okay. But like this is a really old piece of illustration. It's a much bigger version of a very small piece. So, but this I love. I really like her. Hey Laurie. It's 4 o'clock where I am, so it does kind of look like a map of Middle Earth, yeah. That's something I love, is Tolkien's maps. See, I like this. I love this. This is Queen Catherine's Dream. But again, I can scan that because the image itself is out of copyright. Because I'm pretty sure William Blake's been dead more than 70 years, right? This is a medieval piece. It's from the Ptolemaic Zodiac, so that I can copy to reprint for my book. But what I'm gonna do with this one is I'm gonna scan it big, like 600 dpi, so I can enlarge it to reprint it on a bigger page. But when I reprint it, I'll reprint it like a watermark, so it won't be full colour like that. It will be sort of like this, so I can write over it. But it's a pretty good book if you want to find unusual images. Lewis Carroll, of course, is... The book itself is out of copyright. Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass are public domain. But I don't think the illustrations are. I think it's only the book itself. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm guessing that the artist is long dead. Tenfield, is it? But I want that. I've got a first edition of Alice in Wonderland anyway. I just don't want to break the spine and put it on the scanner. Where can you buy one? I don't know, on a bookshop, I would think. Online somewhere? I don't know. This was a birthday present, so... David Barrett, Destiny in Your Dreams. It's probably on Amazon. It's a recent book. It's only like 80-something. Late 80s, early 90s, something like that. Tenniel, thank you, that's the word. I always want to call him Tenningfield, and I don't know why. 92 it is, so you can probably get it on World of Books or second-hand bookshops or something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tenniel's been dead 70 years, which means his stuff is public domain as well. But also a lot of these images, like, it tells you who they are, what they are and who they're by. So you can look them up online, and quite often, like, stuff like this is well out of copyright, and there's stuff online on the whoever, unless they're in a private collection. If they're in a museum, you can usually get them online. You just got to find out what museum they're in or what collection they belong to. This is all dream imagery, which is not necessarily my favourite stuff to be into, but astral travel, I like that. Not necessarily for my book, but I'm doing one for somebody else as a gift, and I think she'd like it. That dragon's cute. He's medieval. I like him. It's on Amazon for 20 quid. Oof. Try the marketplace. I bet it's cheaper in the marketplace. It's getting on for 20 years old, so I'm sure you can get second-hand copies somewhere. Queen of the Cats. We'll have to have her, won't we? Look at her. Oh, let's put it up at the top and then I'll see them all. There's a big cake. like him, but he's over the fold, so that's not going to be one I can easily use. It's a nice image for Pisces. That's suitably weird and creepy. I like that one. I also like this one of Hansel and Gretel and Baba Yaga. I've got a large print of that one. Artistic nudity, people. There is artistic nudity in this video. But it's not up close and personal, so... Ten of Wands. Oh, that's an interesting... I wonder what deck that's from. Does it say? No. Let's say what deck it's from. It's an interesting image though. English Rose. Oh, it feels like two pages stuck together. It's not. How weird. Some very bored people playing cards. Just place your bet already. Who else has got snow? We got snow. Got about 3 inches of it so far. It's been coming down like icing sugar since last night. It was snowing quite heavily yesterday. Give him bow. That's kind of cool for astrology images. These are little sextants calibrating the moon. I think it's fascinating that they could actually figure out stuff about the heavens and things just with basically a pair of these and a sextant. I think it's just fascinating. Ooh, I like these card type images. One of a set of astronomical playing cards made in Nuremberg in 1719. This one depicts the star clusters Canis Minor and the unicorn. Ooh, we're going to have them. And that's Pegasus and the little horse. I like these too. We shall have them. And we'll... 1719, I'm pretty sure that's going to be out of copyright, don't you think? Heavy tomorrow, they said. Yeah, we're forecast heavy tomorrow, but it's been like ice and sugar all day, so it just keeps coming down and coming down and coming down. That's a nice pattern. There's another of those. That's Orion, and another one, Capricorn, the sea goat. Der Steinrock. Oh, is that? What's that? An early French printed sheet containing instructions for interpreting the fall of cards, presented as a system which is essentially in the form of a game. How cool is that? See, stuff like this you can scan and print it out in multiple. You can print it out in colour, or you can desaturate it and print it in grayscale, or you can black and white it, or whatever. So 21 degrees in Carolina. That's warm for you, isn't it? Linament. I like that. I wonder if I can blow that up or find it online. Does it say what it is? Above left, tarot. Oh, okay, so it doesn't actually say where it's from. But I bet I can find that one online in a larger format somewhere. Here's the Arcana. These are going to be mostly basic decks, I think. She's cool. Is that the Moon or the Empress? It's the Moon from the Carey Yale deck. Apologies for my zombie hands, by the way. I've got I've got ink all over me. My eczema's playing up because of the cold. There's a huge section on tarot. The I Ching. I've never really used the I Ching. Too many numbers. Too much counting. Ooh, look at that though. That's a shame that. Why did they put that across the fold like that? I can probably find something similar online though to print out. The trigrams of the I Ching. The original trigrams of the I Ching and the 12 Chinese zodiac animals. Seen in this spiritual world of an all-encompassing Tao. These Qing cards are pretty. Chinese fortune-telling cards. Oh, I like those. Days of the week. It's not a terribly in-depth book, but it's got some really nice imagery in it. And I think I'll definitely scan those end papers because those are definitely medieval images, not modern images. We'll try and find the originals. Yeah. Cool. So that's that. My journal's getting chunky. We made February's journal in class the other day. Did I show you this? Did I flip this for you? I can't remember. Let me do a quick flip. So I've got a... You can't see it very well, but I've got a offcut of acetate there that I stuck to my front page so that I could just pop those bits in there. I played with this. This is a printout, a free printable from Graphic Fairy. And I printed them out and I cut them out and I was just playing with them. And then I liked the way these looked on the red and white roses, you know, painting the roses red. So I thought I'd pop that in there. She may not stay in here, but I've got lots of images for Imulk and stuff, and promise of spring type things. And then this is the book. These are free printables from Pixabay that I printed on regular printer paper. Yeah, it's definitely of interest. Well, like you said, if it's got stuff in it that I already know, I could always tear it up for images. But it's got some stuff that I would like to look at, so I'm going to read it first, and then maybe I might decide that I want to take it up for images, because actually the cover's a really good size. So maybe I'll make an altered book of it or something like that. But anyway, yeah, these are printed on regular printer paper. I use HP photo papers, which is a little bit heavier than copier paper, and it's nice. It doesn't bleed through. I use fountain pen. I write almost exclusively in fountain pen in my journal. So then I've got my bullet journal calendar of events and my appointments calendar. So this is usually where I put, if I've got to go out somewhere, or if I've got an appointment, or I also put in my streams and things and what I'm doing for that stream, so that I don't have to keep looking it up. This is a journal card I put some fabric on the bottom of, and then she's on the back. This is about where Imulk will be, so she's kind of Brigid representative-ish. But I like the quote with it. It says, "Don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive, and do it, because that's what the world needs, is more people who have come alive." Howard Thurman. This is a piece of sari fabric which is stitched onto here. So it's kind of a tuck spot and a cover spot, and I can write on here. This is more, all of these are from Pixabay. Free for commercial use. Download them, buy somebody a coffee, off you go. Another one. This is moleskin graph paper, because obviously I use it as a bullet journal as well. These pages are from this book, which I have 3 copies of now because I love it. But it's full of really interesting imagery. But it's also a really good size, and I wanted to. It's the same size. It's A5 Slim, which is moleskin large. So I actually wanted to take the book block out of one of them and use one of them as a cover, which is why I've got 3 copies. Vintage letter I found and printed out and distressed, and came out kind of cool. More moleskin paper, more book pages. This is I really liked how this fabric went with this page. It's just kind of similar colours. So I just sewed that on with I can't talk today. I sewed that on with my sewing machine to make a material flip. So I'm just playing with different techniques and stuff at the moment. This is my Moons and Astrology page, which I need to write up my astrology bits on. Another page from that book. This is a Franken page, which I stuck together bits of other pages and washi taped it and sewed it and turned it into a bigger page, basically. She is from a previous art journal. I really liked the page and I took it out because I'd never done anything with it in the other journal, and I really liked it, and she's kind of goddess-like, and I like the colours, so I pulled it out and I turned it into a page for here. Got an envelope here to put stuff in and decorate. The inside page. This is a piece of acetate that I printed on, and I sewed it down so that it becomes a pocket. I'm very into sewing and junk journal type stuff at the moment. I'm just really enjoying throwing bits and pieces together. It's nice to kind of play with patchwork paper and fabric and thread rather than just cutting and pasting. If it's just, I love cutting and pasting, but it makes a nice change to do something a little bit different. More pages from this book, but I like the way the book page already looks kind of junk journal-y, so I could get another piece of paper to put over that, like another let's pretend this is the same kind of paper. See, I could even scan this bit and reprint another piece of paper just to cover these bits up, or use a journaling card over the top or something, and then I've got a pre-made journal page. Could even cover just that bit and then redo these lines with kind of a, it almost looks like it's a postmark, but it almost looks like it's a dried out pen. So you could cover over this bit and then redo these lines so it looks layered again. My puppies, my Be More dog, these are from an old calendar book that I had full of German Shepherds. So my Be More dog is still going strong, and I loved this one. One of my things for February when it warms up, because it's not very warm. Thank you, Joe. It's actually yesterday, but thank you. One of the things that my February goals and things are is get outside in the sunshine, even though it's cold. So this is the other side of that franking page that I put together. Oh no, this is not the other side of the franking page. This is the first side of another franking page. These are two separate pages. And then this piece goes right the way across. And this bit, you'll see in a minute. This is not attached. It's just tissue paper. But, sorry, I got something stuck in my mouth. Had rice with chives in, and chives get stuck in your teeth. Even after you've brushed your teeth, they're still stuck in your teeth. I can do all sorts of this. I left it like this deliberately so that I can just leave it like that as a cover or a privacy spot. I can glue it down at the bottom and round the side and turn it into a pocket. I can glue it all down and layer over it. I can put something underneath it and use it as a layer. I can tear it or whatever. You know, I can do all sorts of things with this bit that I've put in here. And of course, if I tear bits off it, I can always use those somewhere else in the book. So this is another print off from Pixabay, the centre of the book. So there's the binding. And the idea with these is that they're all bound in a particular way. So the people in my class we've done the binding. I'm going to be binding my January one as well. And then I've got March 2. And once I've got all three of those, you can see it's going to be pretty chunky. So I'll be able to make a book cover for it. And then I've got 3 months there all together. And then if I decide I'm bored with junk journaling at that point, I can go on and do something else with my little booklets. Or I can keep going, I can do whatever I want. It's cool. But March, we're going to be doing some coffee staining and doing some vintage papers. So that'll be fun. I'm not overly into vintage. Not vintage as in, the whole grungy, shabby chic, dirty lace kind of vintage. I'm not really into that. I like old looking stuff. I like medieval manuscript type stuff. So obviously you want old looking paper for that. So I like old stuff, but I'm not terribly into what people call vintage. Although I do like my Victoriana. Here's the other side of that page. So that piece went across there. That square is on that side. And then this is here and it wraps around and it goes across. So I've got a pocket there and I've got a tuck on the other side. But this is a half page. Yeah, this is my journal for February. One of the Romantics, Gainsborough. The back of the page. I can't remember who she is. She's Countess of somewhere. But I've got her there for the dog, obviously. Another of those layered pages that I can add more stuff to. See, this would be really cute. If you imagine having a journal card. Imagine having one of those journal cards that are kind of quite grungy and old looking. And you could put it over that. And all you've got to do is stick a journal card over the top and you've got a page. Or stick a photo over it, you know? Or even put a photo there, gesso out this bit and write on that bit. Or put a bit of paper underneath, another layer of paper torn with your photo here. You know, you can do all sorts of things with this stuff. So I'm liking the idea of starting with something other than a blank page for a change. More moleskin paper, because again, obviously, bullet journal as well. And it saves my good drawing paper. If I want to do art or writing on these, I can just do my bullet journaling on here. This is the other side of that acetate pocket. I haven't sent the stuff out yet, Joe. Did you not see the last? I've said in the classes I haven't sent anything out yet. My car's off the road, and at the moment we're snowed in. I can't get to the post office. So, also I've got to sort out who's won what, because I've had a few people have said, "Oh, I'm comment number whatever, now you won this," and then when I've counted it, it's come out with a different comment. So I'm like, I don't understand where people are counting from. But there's an awful lot of people telling me they won something, and according to what I've been through on the forums, they didn't. So I've got to check it. But no, I haven't mailed yours out yet, Joe. Sorry, but I did say in class, I've said a couple of times now, were you not in class the other day? I thought you were. No. You will get a definite message from me saying this has been sent out. This is when it went. This is when it's expected. When I've sent stuff out, I don't just send stuff out and hope that it gets there and not bother to tell anybody. I'm slow sending stuff out, especially midwinter when I can't get to the post office, but I don't just send things out willy-nilly. You're all right. Oh, sorry, I stopped. Yeah, I left this open because I thought I could use it as a pocket, use it as a privacy spot, use it as a tuck spot, put something underneath it, whatever. It's really pretty. But also, if this is bullet journaling, my bullet journaling is always really plain and boring, so I thought that would be nice as a cover, to cover it, brighten it up a bit. Art paper. This is just a bit of Winnie the Pooh vellum that I just really liked, and it was there and I threw it in. The other side of that envelope. This is the other side of the green and orange page that you can see this is the top of the page where it was there, and I cut it off the top and I turned it around the side, and it just happened to be the right width exactly for what I needed. So you didn't realise that's what I was referring to. Oh right, okay. No, that I haven't. When I do send it out, you will know. But in order to get to the post office from here, I have to walk either uphill or downhill, both of which means I have to walk back uphill or downhill, and there's no bus route, and my car's off the road, and me and getting up and downhill don't go very well together, especially with bags full of post stuff. So, yeah, sorry I haven't been able to get out. Hey, Ina! This is the other half of that franking page. So that was quite a big piece of page, and then I added washi tape to strengthen it, and then I sewed it to make sure the washi tape stayed. Art paper. This is just from one of these C. White sketchbooks. Literally just pulled this apart and added pages to it. This had several pages taken out of it, which is why I got the idea of adding pages to it. When I do this one, I will almost certainly take out at least half the pages, if not more. And then I'll have some art pages for April's book, and I'll add some more pages into March, you see. Because this sort of stuff is great for writing on, but it's not much use for doing art on, whereas this stuff is proper art paper. It's just a nice postcard that I have hanging around, and it's February and it's roses, so I thought it would be appropriate. Kind of ended up going for a kind of pinky browny reddish kind of theme with almost rosy florals. It was completely accidental. I've just ended up throwing it all in. Another of those pages from that book. You'll see a lot of those pages from the book because they're all like this. They're colours and nice photographs, but they're all dark like this. And that's my thing. I like dark. This is the other half of that paper. So again, this all folds up. So I could do all sorts of things with that. I could rip it here and bend it up that way because it's got a fold here as well. It folds that way too. Or I could just leave it as it is, or I could tuck a photo into it, or tuck a letter into it and fold it up, or all sorts of things I can do with that. It's just whatever comes to mind when I get there. I need to do something with this page. I don't like this page. I liked the one on the back enough to include it. But again, this one I can just cover that and I've got a ready-made page. I could even just stick a photo in there and be done with it. I could probably stick a photo in there. In fact, what I could do with this is put in, like, replace the photos and then replace this with something else. And use this format, but just stick something else onto the page. So I'd have 3 photos and then a journal card on top. So it's good for ideas. The back of those pages, again, rose themed, but not in your face. Oh, it's February, it's all going to be red roses and love hearts. It just happened that that's what happened. That's what I chose. And then these are hibiscus, I think. This is the other half of that girl. And I liked this little bluebird. Thought he was very representative of just before spring, because just before spring the blue tits and the wagtails are what pops up for us. And then I sewed it together, stitched it together, put some washi tape on the back to strengthen it, and I just had this bit of material left from the other side of the page. It's literally the same stuff. It was just hung on, so I pulled it off and sewed this bit on, and then I had this little bit left, so I just tucked it round both sides of the page, and I stuck these little birds on. These are bird stickers from Daphne's Diary. Do I go hunting for old paper? What, you mean like with a bow and arrow? No, not really. What do you mean by do I go hunting for old paper? I don't really know what you mean. These are printouts. These aren't old. These are just printer paper. And I get images off Pixabay and I print them out. In garage sales? No, not really. If I see... We don't really have garage sales here. We have car boot sales, but they're a bit naff. I do buy stuff on eBay sometimes. But not very often, because people have figured out that something like this can go up on eBay, and depending on how old it is, somebody will buy it for like 15 quid. And I'm sorry, I'm not paying 15 quid for an old letter. I don't know. If I'm going to use old stuff, it tends to be books, because I have old books anyway, and I go to thrift shops and second-hand shops and stuff. Or if I go to like one of our charity shops, like second-hand shops, sometimes they'll have vintage photos or something like that, and I might have a wander through, vintage postcards, that kind of stuff. Or if I saw like an old ledger or an old notebook where the paper was really old, then I might. But the trouble is, a lot of this old paper, the reason it's old and looks vintage and is falling apart and is very delicate is because it wasn't treated properly, and therefore it's non-archival. So it's only going to deteriorate more. I like old things. I like things that look old, but I don't necessarily have to have use vintage ephemera or anything like that. Does that make sense? Is that what you meant? Like this is printer paper, but I printed the image out off Pixabay because I really liked the image. I'm not overly into vintage stuff. I you know, it looks old and tatty for a reason, is what I'm saying. I do have old writing sets from like when I was a teenager, from like the 80s, which apparently is now classed as vintage, or at least retro. Although I think 90s, 2000s is retro now, isn't it? And 80s, 70s, 80s is vintage. Or something like that, I don't know. I get confused with it all. But I've got writing sets with envelopes that people would consider vintage that I've got from when I was a kid. So I don't throw things away, so I don't really need to go hunting for stuff. This is that... I had a big piece of paper across here, and I was going to make a pocket at the front and one at the back, and I ended up just folding it in. So now I've got a pocket here. I've got a tuck spot there. And I've got a big pocket at the back. So I literally just had a triangle of paper and I folded in the two corners and I sewed it around the edges and I stuck it down on 3 sides. So that's it. So that's our book that we've made for next month. As you can see, it's not... I haven't made loads of finished pages ready to put them into a book, so all I've got to do is write on them. That's not how I work. But it's also not quite like this was, which is this was a completely plain book. Like this one when I started. And this is what it looks like now. So it's mostly white paper, but I have added a lot to it. But I've been doing bits and pieces as I go. I'm kind of up to about here. That's my... I've got to do some writing on there. There's a lot of it is writing now because I've got a session tonight to sit and write and catch up with the end of the month. There's my moon picture. Oh, cute doggy. That's where he went. That's where cute doggy went. That's the piece I did the other day. Bullet journaling. See, this is what my bullet journaling pages look like. I kind of feel like it's a bit of a waste of the decent art paper to use it for this, unless there's something arty on the back. See, that's kind of a wasted page of art paper. I could have replaced that with a piece of moleskin paper and it would have been fine. So that's kind of why I've incorporated some of this moleskin paper. And I've also got 2 pages in the back of here that are washi taped in that I might take out. These 2 pages, these are Filofax paper, and they're only washi taped in, so technically I could take them out of this book. Actually, they're not even washi taped in very well. The washi tape is coming off. And I've got more than enough pages in this book because I added a fold out, so I might take this out and put it in this book. I can just paste it in, tape it in somewhere. Oh, that tore. Hi.
Oh.
Hi, Boo. How you doing? He's a bit full of himself. He spent the whole of yesterday chatting to his nana. Right, where have I got a space here that is going to be needing somewhere to write on? This is near the end, beginning of the month. That is going to be actually where I need somewhere to write. Right about here. So I've got a page there and I've got a page there. I could put one of these pages in here, I think. Hi, Boo Boo. Yeah, I hear you. Hi. Hi. Just tear it along the washi tape. I don't want the checks in there next to the checks, but this is art paper. So I'm thinking I could put that one in there. So it's plain next to plain, and I'll just washi tape it in. And then that's check paper. So I've got a check one there. And I don't have another check one to there, till there. So I can put a check one in here somewhere. Let's put it there. Because then he'll detract from the fact that this will just be writing. Because I can always add some more of these in as I go. These are just A5 Filofax sheets that I've cut off to the right size. Maddie. Yeah, I'll leave that like that, I think. I've got more arty and plain pages in the middle because that's around the time, the middle of the month is around the time when I start doing more sketching and photographs and stuff, whereas the beginning of the month I tend to do writing. The beginning and end of the month I tend to be a bit lazy. But the middle of the month I do more arty stuff. The rings are gone. The rings are gone. Okay. I don't know what you mean. Sorry, Chloe. You lose me. Hi, what? You want to go outside again? Oh, they want to go outside again. Hang on. Back in a second. Come on. Come on then. Stop shouting at me. Get your bum outside. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Getting nothing done today with you two. Come on. Out. Hurry up. Maddie, stop it. Come on. In. Quick. Goodness me. Take your time. Take your time, why don't you? Oh, goodness me. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Oh, my rings. Oh, I just haven't put them on today. They haven't gone anywhere, I'm just not wearing them. You people, you're all so dramatic. Goodness me. I just need to find my phone because next door's cat is sat out in the back garden screaming to get him in. There it is. Oh, so I'm just going to text her and let her know because she can't always hear him. There. Where was I? Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. Right, so January. January's getting to the point now where I have to keep taking it out to work on it because it's getting a bit tronco. Oh, I made this. This is from... It's not an Edith Holden page because I would never, ever pull apart my Edith Holden book. I would if I found one that was cheap to pull apart, but my vintage one is not going anywhere. I scanned the page actually and I reprinted it with the January calendar on, and I stuck a tab on so that I could use it as a bookmark. I've done the same for February and March. And what I thought I could do is, instead of having this month, I did my goals like on the page here. And what I thought I could do is, for February, do my goals on the back of here, so that as I use it to bookmark my page, I've still got my goals. I might even do it so that it's that way up, so I can decide I can either use it that way or I can use it that way, depending on what I want to do. I don't know. Anyway, I thought I would use the back for my goals anyway for February, instead of just having them sitting here. So really all I wanted to do was just kind of flick through my journal and kind of update things. And so like my mum and dad came up yesterday. For my birthday. We also had loads of snow. Somewhere I have... This is why I wanted my stamp pads, so I could use my stamps. Somewhere I have snow stickers. I can't be bothered to dig them out for right now, but I'll probably put a sticker there. And snow. Three inches and counting. This is my month. We are here. Twitch and YouTube, Immock Design for Art. I don't have anything else. That's been moved to next month. I'm just scanning through to see if there's anything else I need to move, but I don't think there is. That's finance stuff. I'll update that later. Goals. How did we do with goals? Determined to play. I think I've got the play down. I've been doing play stuff all month. I've learned that making a living is not the same as making a life, Maya Angelou. Yeah, I've been a lot more relaxed about the difference between work and not work this month, which has done me good. I wanted to get my yarns and fabrics out, which I did. I also conquered my sewing machine. Mindfulness, I've been doing that. Magic, been doing that. Happy, walking with you, spending time with my puppies. We now have set, well not set, but we have snuggle time. I've set up, I said before that I set up my, I've got my journal desk over there, which is basically where I spend most of my time, is sitting around. Even if I'm watching YouTube, I'm usually doing something in my journal or sketching or playing on my tablet or, you know, something that involves sitting at a desk, and I'd rather sit at a desk. So this desk is my work desk, which I use if I'm filming or painting. That desk is my desk if that makes sense. I don't tend to work over there, but I will work on things over there. I've got my sewing machine and things out. And I've moved the little desk from over there by the big armchair so that when I'm over at the armchair, I don't have anything else going on. It's just me and the puppies and a cup of coffee, sometimes a book or an audio book. I do take my phone over there and listen to audiobooks or something because I like to have something going on. But it's just me and Maddie and Scooby snuggling in the chair, taking a break. Because I'm terrible for carrying work around with me or constantly doing, not even necessarily work. So that's coming under my self-care, relaxation and happiness and spending more time with dogs. So every day I make sure I spend at least a little bit of time. And it's useful because the big armchair, I don't really like sitting in it for long periods of time because it's a big comfy armchair and it's one of those that once you're in it you don't want to get out of it again, so I'd sit there for weeks. But it's right next to the radiator, so when I get to the point where I feel really chilly and I need to warm up, we go and have half an hour cuddle time. So that works out quite well. This is my astrology stuff. I have some more notes to write in there later. A lot of this is writing, so these are basically finished pages. This is all finished. My pause for thought. Be more dog. How to listen like a dog. It was an article from a magazine. This is all done. I've got some bits and pieces there I could stick photos on. Have I got any more photos that I haven't used yet? I've got a couple, but they need to stay at the back. Those are on stuff. Have I got anything else that would look cool? Nope, those are for Gemini. I don't really have anything. I'd print it, I don't think. But it's nice to know that I do have a little bit of space there if I do want to stick anything on it. Yeah, I don't really want to stick any of those in. So I could leave that, or I could decorate it, or I could stick photos on it, or whatever. I might come back to that and use it for something. Maybe do a stamp on it, or you know, pretty it up a bit. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It's all done. That's all done. That's all done. See, some of this, what I wanted to do was edging the pages. But I can't really edge the pages because I can't find my blue ink pad. I wanted to edge them in blue. But I do have a... Where's my grey? That could work, because that's a cool grey. There's the grey. I like this one. It's a... Whoops. Dropping things in Maddie's bed. She won't like that. This is a Cloudy Sky Stays On, so it's a permanent ink. But I use it when I want to use like a pencil colour stamp. Does that make sense? But sometimes I like to just grunge up the edge of pages a bit. I like inking pages, but I'm not necessarily... I don't believe in Tim Holtzing everything. You know what I mean? There are some people who can't look at a piece of paper without Tim Holtzing it. I don't feel the need to do that, but I do like occasionally to just kind of edge a page. And this is a self-contained page. It doesn't relate... because it's about the moon earlier in the month. So it's not a this is a continuation of my journal. This is a standalone page. So doing an edge around it kind of gives it the impression it's a standalone page, if that makes sense. I kind of would like to do a bit of... softening of edges. So I might just put a bit of again, I don't want to go crazy with it all. I just want to kind of blend some edges out a little bit and just make them mildly more interesting than a cut edge, if that makes sense. Again, I don't want to Tim Holtz things to death, but I like the effect of having an edge on something like that. Yay, wobble the table. Wobble that table. Wobble it. See, I like that dark blue effect on the light blue. I think it gives it kind of a more nighttime feel, if that makes sense, does it? Yeah. Tim Holtz's stuff is all the same. Well, it's not all the same. This is Tim Holtz. It's distress crayon. I think the issue with Tim Holtz stuff is that everybody does the same thing with it. I'm not against Tim Holtz stuff. I've got Tim Holtz ink. Look, I love a bit of extra stuff, and I love all his ideology stuff. I use a lot of his ephemera, but you don't look at my. It's not like. I like to integrate the ephemera into my page. I don't just go, oh, I'll stick this Tim Holtz thing on here. If that makes sense, which I think a lot of people do. Because it's pre-made stuff, I think people sometimes forget that you can be creative with it as well. I kind of like that. I think I'm going to do it around here as well, just to not really make the pages match necessarily, but just to carry the effect over. Oh, it's a photo, so it's going to have a white edge on it, which is annoying. Can I make the pages go together like that? Yeah, I like that. That's cool. So I consider that page done now. That's bullet journaling. I don't need to worry about that. This is kind of a half done page. I kind of would like to stamp something on there. I have a dog stamp somewhere. But it's not here, it's over in my other box. This is the one thing about having two desks, is that everything ends up on the wrong desk. I think that'd look good with a dash of pink on, to go with the painting. There's a dash of pink there. Oh, I've not used this one. Oh, I have used this one. There's a dash of pink there on that painting. And just add a little dash of pink, just I like it. We had there's a little dash of pink on there as well. I didn't notice that. So let's put that on there. And let's do a bit there as well. Why not? There we go. Yeah, I like that. It's a bit of contrast. Yeah, it's not that it's all the same. It's just that people do the same thing with it all the time. Which, yeah, that kind of is kind of annoying. Well, no, it's not annoying. It's not annoying. He specifically makes stuff so that people, if they feel that they don't have the creative flair that is required to do whatever they need to do, or they want to do, they don't have to have it. It's already there for them. What I find not even annoying, because I don't really care what other people do, but I think it's a shame when people have a lot of creativity themselves, but they just buy stuff that's pre-made and stick it together and it looks like everybody else's. When you can see that from what they're doing, you can see that they are they've got more ideas than that themselves, you know? They're not being creative, they're just sticking bits of paper together. Which is not to say that sticking bits of paper together is wrong in any way. I love to do it myself, but I think it kind of lulls people into a sense of security and sometimes, dare I say, laziness, that they are being creative somehow, when really then they're just taking somebody else's creativity and sticking it all on a page. And they are capable of much, much, much more if they just give it a little bit more thought. That's... I don't know. It's kind of an oxymoron for me, because it irritates me that people don't use their own creativity more, especially when you can obviously see that they have those ideas bristling. They're just not doing them. But at the same time, I really don't care what anybody else does. Yeah, it's like the creative mind left to just go to waste. It's kind of a shame, I think. It's like not using, or perhaps not even recognising that you have talent. Oh, I'm not knocking sticking stuff. Sticking stuff is very relaxing. I do a lot of cut and paste myself. But there's a difference between collaging stuff to make a creative thing and cutting out Tim Holtz images and sticking them on a sheet of paper and going, ta-da, I've been creative. It's not kind of not the same thing. It's, like I say, it's great for those people who don't feel they have that creativity, or, you know, some people genuinely believe that they don't. Or they just don't have that creativity in paperwork, but they want to make something. And, you know, I'm not knocking that in any way, shape or form. Like I say, I like Tim Holtz stuff myself. But I just think they miss opportunities. That's it. Yeah, instead of using them as inspiration, they kind of use them as a rote way of doing things. Just, you know, grab this, grab that, stick it all together, grunge it up the sides, and ta-da, we've been creative today. And if they just gave it a little bit more thought, or a little bit, allowed the inspiration to come through, let their creative mind play a little bit, they could do so much more with them. And I've met Tim Holtz, and he's a lovely guy, and I knew him way back when he first started. And I think that's kind of what he intended. He never intended it to just be stuff that people cut it out and stick it on a page and go, ta-da, it's vintage, you know? That's not what he was about. It's not what he's ever been about. He just wanted to inspire people and give them opportunities and give them stuff that wasn't readily available at the time. I don't know what to do with this page. What am I going to do with that page? I don't really know what to do with that page either. I know, I want my puppy stamp there. I've got a puppy stamp. Hang on, I know where my puppy stamp is. I need more dog. Oh. Here, puppy, puppy, puppy. Where's the puppy? There it is. Oh, I've also got these I'd forgotten about. I could play with those as well a little bit. These are Pancarica stamps, and I like using these as like background. They're cool for very lightly doing stuff in the background. That's my puppy stamp. Yeah, there's so much more to it. Yeah. And I think that's what he intended it for. And I just think it's kind of a shame that all these people who obviously, you know, yes, you can take the images and you can just stick them together and go, ta-da, I'm done. But it takes a certain amount of creative flair to be able to do that even. And it's just, for me, it's a shame that these people don't go, hang on a minute, could I do this myself? Could I do more with this? Could I change this in some way to make it more mine? I think that's what I'm looking for. People don't make things theirs. They stick Tim Holtz images on a page. They don't make a page that's theirs. I think that's where I'm kind of meaning. Oh, I've dropped everything on the floor now. I don't know what to do with this big space up here, but I like this stamp, so I'm thinking I might, because I'm not going to write on that bit particularly, but I'm thinking that that might be rather cool to just throw that on there as if it's written on. Let's kind of make it look like it's a bit written on, but it's not actually written on. Just kind of gives the impression, see? Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. That's very cool. And I think I might do a bit of random down here. That could have been a bit further over, but never mind. Yeah, I like that. It just takes up the blank space without necessarily feeling like, oh, I have to fill that space with something. Just takes the blankness off it. I like that. Oh, I've got a paw print here. I could put paw prints on it as well. Let's put a paw print. And yeah, should put a paw print on that side as well. It stays on, so even though it's vellum, once it dries, it will actually stay on. Stay on. It stays on. Yeah, that's why they called it that. Hello, Miss Maddie. Hello, Poppy. Hello, the puppy. Yeah, she's got her cat in. It was Charlie shouting to be let in, bless him. She can't always hear him from the front room, so if I hear him, I let her know. Come on then, come and sit in here with Mummy. Good girl. Oh, I think I know where my stamp pads are. I think I've just found them, Miss Maddie. Hi, what are you doing? Are you being weird? What's the matter? You're not going out in the snow? It's too cold out there. You're not going out in the snow? No, it's too cold. You're an old lady now. You can't be going out in the snow every 5 minutes and rolling around in it. That needs something, but I don't know what it needs. I think maybe a photo. I'm actually thinking maybe I'll just put that there. Because I kind of like how that looks. Can't bring my dog, I'm not coming. Because see, to me that's funny, using an old vintage church image. An old kind of music and handwriting, and got a bit of Byron, and we got a bit of the Canterbury Tales, and I got notes on an idea book, and then just stick a bit of Snoopy in the middle there. Why not? You know, I'm going to do it. Where's my Pritt stick? There it is. Why not? I guess that's kind of what I mean. I could have could have gone searching through my vintage postcards or something to find a suitable image to make a themed page of all vintage stuff, but I'd rather just chuck down this also black bit of Charlie Brown and stick him on there because it matches the page. Oh, that would have been better a little bit further up. Hang on. Don't want it lined up with that. There we go. Might have to put some more glue on that in a minute. Don't think it's going to stick properly, but because this bit's vellum, so Pritt Stick's not going to stick to it properly. But it'll do for now. I'll put some Aleenes on it in a minute. So there's that. This is boring. Let me have a quick look and see if I have indeed figured out where my stamp pads are. I found my index cards, that's useful. No. Okay, that's annoying. Stamp pads are not in there either. Miss Maddie, will you sit down please and decide where you're going to be? Huh? You're getting under my feet. You're going to sit in your bed? Sit in your bed, look, the warm's on. Sit in your bed. Or move your bum, whichever. I don't mind, but can you shift? I don't want to run over you. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to smack the camera. I'm just having a quick look in this drawer, see if my stamp pad... I don't understand where all my ink pads have gone. I don't have that many, but I've got a couple. Good girl. Sit in Mummy's chair. Good girl. Anything in here that I want to use today either. If I remember correctly, this is all, yeah, this is all for my other book. Yeah. Okay. The annoying thing is I can picture my stamp pads in my mind. I know what they kind of look like and where they should be. Can't actually think where they are. Where's that blue pen gone? Let's do this. Around this photo. Just make it a little bit different. Go on, more fingers and thumbs today, boys and girls. I like this really dark blue. Yeah, that's nice, I like that. Works better on the non-shiny paper. Yeah, that's better. That just takes the edge off that thing there. I like. Okay. Oh, I was looking for that earlier. I forgot it and put it in my journal so that it would be safe. Wrote very, very important on the top. Stuck a card and a paper clip on it so that I knew that that's where it was. Still spent time looking for it this morning. That's all done. That's all done. Oh, that doesn't have... See, that's a grocery list on one side, and then I didn't know what to put on here. So I think I'm going to do the same as I did with that other one, actually. I don't really need to do anything on this particular spot. Oh, actually, let's just see if there's anything in this magazine that might fit that spot, just to fill it up. Nothing that particularly goes on my colour scheme. I don't normally bother about colour schemes, but everything for January has been blue. I love that. It's a bridge, but what? It's a bridge from looking down on it, but it's really hard to see what... Is it like a waterfall bridge, or... Gosh, isn't that strange? Looking down on a bridge, you lose all sense of perspective of what the bridge, which is bridge, and how weird. It's a lovely page though. I really like that. I may come back to that. I might use that later for something in this book, because it really, that's my colours. And that's the colours I'm using at the moment. Oh, I'm going it this way, aren't I? See? A bridge looks really weird from vertical. You can hardly tell what it is. It's almost like a work of art on its own. It's very strange. I never thought of that. Anyway. Nothing particularly grabbing me. That goes with my read and relax, because that's why I put that on there. That was my... Let's have that. It goes with my goals, you see. Let's see. Over there. If I... Oh, heavens. Anything today. It's the Breathe magazine. It is a lovely magazine. I really like it. If I do that just above her head there, not that bit, that bit. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is tear it along here. And along here. Yeah, come on, fingers, move. And then cut her head out. Kind of makes her stand out a bit better without too much overlap on the other page. Yeah, I like that. That'll do. Yeah, I find a lot of other magazines, I buy them just for the pretty pictures so that I can cut them up. But this one, I actually read it and then I cut it up. So that's got to be somehow better. Better? Somehow, maybe? I don't know. I would have preferred to do this with my ink pad, but again, no idea where my ink pad is. I've probably put them inside a box I can't see into, and that's why I can't find them. But they'll turn up eventually. It's so weird, I don't like tags at all, but I like this, but this is technically a tag. I don't know. I have an irrational hatred of tags, like luggage label type tags. I don't know why. I think it's the annoying bits of ribbon at the top. I don't know. I like that though. I like that you can, there's something a bit more interesting on the bottom of that now. It's just my grocery list, but you know, let's make it interesting if we've got to have it in our journal, eh? This is from that magazine as well. I took a bit of the paper because it says breathe and make time for yourself, which again was part of my make time for yourself, you see. Most magazines, I also read them first. I don't find many magazines that hold my interest, in all honesty. Maddie, what is up with you? Why are you snorting at me? You're tired and you want cuddles. You want cuddles. She wants attention. Come on, settle down, baby girl. We'll have cuddles in a bit, alright? Mama's nearly done. Nearly done. This is all got writing to go in. This is funny. I printed this off Instagram, but I printed it too small, but I'm going to put it in anyway. It's a medieval lady. Maddie, careful. It's a medieval lady cutting bushes and things. I don't know where it's from. It's just a cool print. And it says, friend, what are you doing? Me. Just collecting some berries for a pie that I'm making for the whole village. Friend, but those berries are poisonous. Me. Oh, I know. I thought it was funny. So I think I might put her there. Because this is quite a colourful page, so I don't think she'll be out of place there. Maddie, please stop whining, sweet pea. Go to bed. Go to bed. Mummy won't be long, I promise. Please stop whining at me. You've been out, you've got dinner, you've got a drink. You're not going out to play in the snow, it's too cold. I don't find many magazines interesting enough to read. I'm not really a big reader, like physical reading. I like audiobooks, but print books not so much. But this one I quite enjoy the articles in. This one's got a photo of Maddie on the back, being very Maddie. This was a plain journaling page actually, and I just coloured some journal cards, sorry, and I just coloured some bits in, and I thought it looked really cool. I'm just looking at it now and thinking those yellow bits would look really awesome if they were gold. If they were metallic, just give them that extra little bit of pop. I'm not a big fan of gold, but I absolutely hate yellow, so I'm okay with doing it gold instead of yellow. Yeah, just gives it that extra little bit of sparkly. like that. Yeah, that's cool. I think it looks better with that actually than the yellow. Ooh. There we go. This bit was actually intentional. Cover art here is by Natasha Newton. She's got several of these moon pictures in the magazine, and they're all really nice. Look at these, they're all beautiful. And I looked her art up, and she does a lot of this kind of collagey, textile-y, canvasy, grungy kind of stuff. She's quite good. I like her stuff. Okay, let's have a bit of that. Let's tear the paper so it's not completely straight. I think I'd like some blue underneath. What blue do I have to put underneath? Let me think. Let me think, let me think, let me think. Oh, I have my blue there. I could use that. Okay. Because these index cards take stuff rather well, and I've got happen to have my distress stain here. So if I do that, and then let's grab my. Oh, it's dried too fast. I was hoping to be able to kind of spread it out around the edges, but it's not going to. Never mind. Let's do. Oh, I haven't got it wide enough. It's going to have to go all over. Let's do that. And this is still damp, and this is a watercolour pen, so in theory it should kind of, yeah, bleed in a little bit. I like that. Okay, let's do something similar on the edge of this, just to make it a little more stand out. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I know. Oops. Trying to take the lid off my glue and it's already off. off. $20 21st. Yeah, 21st. Oh, these things are not made for people who can't spell. Squeeze that on the end, I think. Oops. Yeah. There we go. Gonna feed the dogs and cats. Yeah, go feed the puppies. First time to catch you live after a long day at work. Granny Weatherwax. Granny Weatherwax is my spirit animal. You have Happiness in Spiritual magazine that you like a lot. Yeah, this is kind of... Breathe is kind of spiritual for people who already do spiritual. Does that make sense? Whereas the in the moment ones are more for people who... I always get the feeling from it that it's for people who wish they could do spiritual but they don't have time. You know? I like that. It's kind of little vignette. Started reading The Colour of Magic. It's not really that easy in English. No, because there's a lot of colloquial style language in it. It's a little tricky. I think they're available in Dutch though. I'm sure the Discworld novels are all in Dutch as well. So now I've got 2 pages on the back and 1 on the front, which is a lot better. I can... Yeah, I like that. That's cool. A little doggy. Or little puppy. Find a place for him. Right, this is my... I took this yesterday. I just snapped a picture out the side of the window and it came out so cool. I think I'm going to print it out on a large piece of paper, but paler, like a watermark image. So it's like a background paper. I really like it. It's just like creepy trees in the winter. There's my winter poem. Shit, it's cold. got a photo of the old snow. It's obligatory. I'm going to write about my birthday under there. I've got The Winter Witch. I can't remember who the artist of this is. I have to look it up because I very cleverly cut it off. But I have to go and find it because I love her. I think she's awesome. I've got my dog. I'm not old, I'm vintage. I like reading in the natural language of the book. Some things get lost in translation. Yeah, the thing is with Terry Pratchett, a lot of things will get lost in translation anyway, because it's very, very, very English humour. But the thing is, Dutch sarcasm and humour and tongue-in-cheek is very, very, very much the same as English. So a Dutch translation of it will have a similar meaning. I don't think you'd lose much in translation. As long as you remember that it's got that slightly snarky sense of humour in it. More birthday bits. I did a criminology card. This was a postcard that I just threw some stuff on to do with. This was a vintage Paddington Bear that I've had since I was about 4 years old. This is the evidence. This is what happened to my bear. My vintage Paddington. These are the suspects. There are only 3 possible suspects, and it wasn't me. So it's one of these 2 was definitely the culprit, but I don't actually know which one. So they're in trouble. Oh, shall I? Let's do a little. I like doing little half moon things in my envelopes and stuff because it just makes things easier to get in and out. So I can open that much easier. So I've got the back of that one that I'm going to write on. Mad Fox Studios sent me this one because I just love her. I'm printing her big, like a big journal card. She's going to go in my Bad Alice book because I think she's awesome. But I had to print her out here as well. So I've got writing to go in there. I've done some writing on here. This is just a pull out. It's just a blue index card, and I stuck a bit of lace, sewed a bit of lace onto it, so it's got a pulley. This is from that book. It's pictures of fabric. If you can't see what that is, it's like satin fabric. Because I'd organised my fabrics, I Marie Kondo'd my fabrics earlier in the month, and that's my desk now. I've got my fabrics and my sewing machine and all sorts of stuff out. It's actually changed again since then. It now looks like this. This is an updated version. I finally found a way to use this drawer set without losing stuff in it. What I've done, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but instead of just putting things in drawers and trying to label the drawers, I need to be able to see what's in it. So I used clips and I've hung a key charm on there, so that's charms. I've got a piece of patterned paper with script on it, that's paper scraps. I've got a vintage photo there, that's photos and memorabilia. This one, you can't see it because of the dog's head, but I've got a piece of ribbon and a piece of lace clipped on, that's yarns, lace and ribbons. I've got, this one is fabric, scraps, because it's got a fabric scrap on it. And then this big one at the bottom is all these, which I've pulled out of that box and put in this drawer so they're easier to get to. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that exactly. Doesn't seem very exciting to just have a photo in a pocket, not doing anything else with it, but I don't really want to... I've got plenty of writing room because I've got all of that, so I don't really need to have that as writing room. But it kind of looks a little bit plain. What if... Oh, for heaven's sake, I've got stuff falling off the back of the... What if, instead of the grey, I use this pale kind of browny colour. Like that. And just stamp across there, as if it's got faded writing on. Well, I don't know it was Scooby. That's what I said. I don't... Oh yeah, I like that. That's cool. So it kind of like looks like it's got faded writing on it, but it's not really, but it just takes the blankness off. Oh, I like that. That's cool. I just said that. I can't tell whether it's Scooby or Maddie. You do need to condo. Actually, no, you don't need to condo. You need to get your stuff out of boxes. That's what you need to do, Mrs. I feel like it needs something there, like a tab or... It just had a thing on it. What if I... do that, and then, oh, for heaven's sake, I've got stuff falling off on the floor everywhere I go now. I'm at that point in the week where I need to tidy up my desk. Just taken that out of the pocket. That would have been easier, wouldn't it? Yeah, just adds a little something something. Not much, just a little bit. Just take the plainness off the page. There we go. I like that a bit better now. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, just a little bit, just to take the edge off. That's all going to be written on. Oops. Oh, I was going to do it. I don't know if I'll be able to get that in, but we'll try. I should have done this before I stuck it down. Okay. Is that where the line is? Oh, look at that. Somebody invented this and said, you know what? It's easy to stamp it that way, but what if you can't stamp it? How do you know if it's halfway along? And so I went, oh, well, let's put a little notch halfway along the circle, shall we? Clever people. This is what I like about cleverness and creativity. How to problem solve an issue that nobody realised they were going to have. Okay, that's going to be, that just needs writing on now. That's going to be, I'll probably finish her as an art piece, actually. My friend sent me this, which I think is hilarious. It says, you can wear your fancy attire all you want, Marie. I'm wearing the scuba suit and that's final. Oh. love it. I've got a picture of my journal looking very chunky. I've got this. I was kind of thinking maybe I'd do like a mini collage type thing with that. And stick it on the page like that maybe. Maybe I could get away with taking off the white bit there. Maybe a bit like that. Oh yeah, I like that. Let's do it. Let's do it. Whoops. I might have to go back in with a bit of Aleene's on this one. It might not stick first time because of actually that's not going to stick at all, is it? So I'm going to put that on there like that. In fact, I might move it up a little bit like that, so I can just leave this hanging out the bottom. I kind of like that. Yeah, like a little mini collage, and then I can write next to it, because this is what my journal looks like at the end of January so far. It's kind of... Let me grab my glue. Oh, everything's going to be over here, and I'm going to have to move it all back again. I need to tidy up as well, because there's stuff all over the floor now. It was tidy earlier. February and March will be the months to sort it out. It's official now, I've said it. You don't want me to remind you that you said the same thing about after Christmas, and then before Christmas, before that, and no? Because you can officially say it all you want. Until you actually do it, I don't believe you. Because you've been saying you were going to sort it out since last summer. You didn't do it in the summer because you wanted to enjoy the weather. Oh, I'll do it in the winter when I don't have to be outside. I bet it gets to February and March and you go, well, no, I really want to be outside in the warm. We want to go on day trips. Just unpack the flipping boxes, will you? Okay, so I've made kind of a mini collage here out of that picture. I'm just going to stick that on there. So I've put the glue underneath here. So this will be loose and this will be loose, but it will stick down to the bottom here. I'm just going to hold it till it grabs. You don't want me to remind you about that? Okay. You've just picked out a box a day. You'd have done it by now. That's how I do it. Just do one box a day. Okay, I like that. Oh, might need a bit more glue on there. That's not really grabbing. Let's pop a little bit more under there. The lace is bumpy, so it's not... It's kind of sinking through the holes in the lace and touching the paper, but then it's not still touching the paper above. Solution, more glue. Let's pop that on it. That'll hold it in place while it dries. Okay. I'm almost at the end of the book, but we're almost at the end of the month. So I'm thinking I'm probably not going to use all of these pages like today and tomorrow. So I might just stick that on there and maybe do a frame around it or something, because I really like it. It's just funny. It's what you do. You're almost done. Yeah. You have to. Even if you could do like empty a box one day and then the next day go through and clean everything and put it away. You know, even if you have to do 2 days for a box. It's usually the easiest thing to do. Rachel's even more of a procrastinator than I am, so... Okay, let's pop that down there. What I might do is see if I can get a... because this is a standard size. I printed this on 4x6. I might see if I can find a... words, any words. I'll go on Pixabay and see if I can find a frame that I can put out and put around there. I think that'd be quite cool. Like it's a page in a frame, like in an old vintage album type thing. I think that'd be funny. So that's that page. I'm going to write here about my journals. That's birthday stuff. That I've got some photos I need to print out. And then that can have a frame. That's just a bit of paper that I tore the edge off. I can always tear that bit off as well. It doesn't matter. Or I can just leave it like that and stick a bit of pattern paper on it. That'll work too. And then that gives me 1, 2, 3 pages for today and tomorrow, which obviously I'll still come back to. Even though I move into February's book, I'll still be doing some bits in this one for the next few days. I usually spend at least a week working on stuff from the previous month. So, I love that little doggy. He's so cute. But these are going to be bound into a book, so this is going to be the end of a signature, essentially. I'm actually thinking I might just put him on there as like end of signature 1 kind of thing. I kind of like the idea of just having a little picture in the back there. He's so cute. Maybe I might do that. I don't know. I've also got this, which I printed out off Instagram. This is, I've cut her name off. Gosh darn it. Let me find the girl who did it. Instagram. Mia Vibes, is it? Somebody, is it Mia Vibes? We did Junk Journal January, and I didn't see it at the beginning of January. I only saw it a couple of days ago, but I thought it would be fun to do the prompts because I quite like the prompts. I thought I might do them in February, unless they do a February prompt list. Oh, it is Mia Vibes. It is Mia Vibes and Meg Journals, that's the girl I was trying to think of, but it is Mia Vibes as well. At Mia Vibes and at Meg Journals. So this is actually Meg Journals' photo. It's that photo that they used for the prompt list. We're all waiting to see if they're going to do one for February or if they're just going to, if it was just a January thing. But if they don't do one for February, I might do this in next month. There's a lot of stuff on Pinterest. Yeah, I don't really use Pinterest. Pinterest is mostly copyright stuff of other people's things, and I don't like it. I'm going to put that on there. I'm missing my blue elephants because I took them out of that other page, so I'm going to put my blue elephants back on here. And that washi tape doesn't stick very well, so... The trouble with Pinterest is you can't tell where things come from unless somebody has linked it properly. And you get people posting and posting and posting and posting and reposting and reposting and reposting a copyright image. And you have to go 12 sessions back to find out that it's a copyright image. So you can't really trust anything that's on Pinterest. I have it taken out of my Google search results, so I don't even see Pinterest results. If I wanted to use Pinterest as a search engine, I would. But I use Google as a search engine. If that makes sense. Just put my blue elephants down there, because why do I keep bashing into everything? God, so clumsy today. You know you're being clumsy when you're getting on your own nerves. I just keep catching on everything I do. It's not even like it's in the way. Okay, I like that, and I'll put that on there, I think. Let's put it there so it covers that up until you actually open it. Yeah. If you want genuinely copyright-free images that you can guarantee are copyright-free, go on somewhere like Pixabay. Everything is free for commercial use, and it's all just fun stuff that's made by people like you and me when we get bored. And we go, oh, you know what, I'll scan that and put it on Pixabay. And you can buy people a coffee and help their ratings and help them go search things and stuff like that. But it's all very, you know, people are not trying to make money out of it or steal other people's stuff. It's just, you know, oh, I made this, I thought it was pretty. A lot of it's graphic design students just mucking about with stuff for their portfolios. And they just make it available for everybody. That way you can guarantee it's not copyright. There. That works. Yeah, I like that. That's kind of covers that up enough that you can... Well, let's put the elephants on the back there as well, just to hold that in place. Like that. And like that. Yeah, cool. I like it. I can put stuff on there if I want to. I could put a photo on there if I want to. Or I can just leave it, because it's the end of the journal. It doesn't really matter. I've got a couple of blank pages. So how many pages is that altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 and a pocket. I think I've got a lot more than 26 for February, but ooh, what I might do is just spread things out a little bit more in February. It's very rare that I do something like that where I just put one photo on a page. Very rare that I do something like that. So maybe that's something I need to try and have a go at doing. So how many pages have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. I'm going to count that as a half. So 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not really going to use that for anything. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's not really a page. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21 is 22 is halfway. So either I need to spread things out a bit more in February or do a bit more journaling, or yeah, I don't know. Mind you, some of these have deliberately got pockets on or can't be used. I mean, I can't really use that bit. I could use that bit, but I can't really use that bit if I want to keep that picture. So I've got 22, 44, plus that one page and an envelope, because I can count that, because you can't use that one, really. I've got a little half page, haven't I, on this side there. So that's the other half. So I've got 20, 22, 44, 45 pages for February. But again, I won't put anything on that one because I put that in because I like the picture. So I also counted this, which is not a page. Interesting. This is going to be interesting to see what I do with February's. I think maybe I need to spice my journaling out a little bit. But I'm not a kind of 1 page a day sort of person, so I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that. I tend to start the month doing a page or 2 pages a day, and then I kind of do bits and bobs here and there, and then I do the whole of the rest of the journal in the last 10 days. I don't know. I've been a bit busy this month, so be interesting to see. I might do a bit more. Don't want me to do a bit more journal with me's on YouTube here for this February journal, because it's going to be a different way than I usually work. I think I might end up doing a lot more single page layout type stuff, which I don't normally do at all. What do you think, guys? So I might not need that page in February either. I might put that in. I might put that in the front of March and just add it to February if I think I need it. Everybody went quiet. Does anyone else find inspiration in tarot cards? Yeah. It's basically a lot of what we do. I use tarot cards a lot for journal prompts and drawing prompts and all sorts. Journaling prompts. Yeah. what we're doing in my When Frogs Sing class is actually learning intuitive tarot and learning how to use them as prompts and things. And if you go and check out Burgess Taylor, I don't know which channel it is, because she seems to have several channels these days. One of her channels, she does creative writing using tarot cards. We also use astrology stuff and Wheel of the Year and all that kind of thing for journaling prompts. It's fun. Sorry, I'm just tidying up my desk here a little bit because it's got a bit out of hand. I've spent 4 hours sitting here pulling things out and not really having time to put them away again. So right, there's my Pritt stick, so that can go back over on the other desk because I've got the Pritt stick there. That needs to go over there again. That lives here. All of those live here. Oh, for heaven's sake. Just stand up, you stupid thing. Honestly. That lives over this side. That lives there. There's my scissors, so those can go back over there now. Scraps of paper, those can go over in my box. Stapler. There's my pencil I was looking for earlier. Those need to go back over there. That's a good pencil there. Bin. Right, Miss Maddie. Hello, Belly. Hello, Belly. Ah, washi tape. Cards. Eraser. That's the razor for this desk, I believe. Let's put those away. And that goes in there. That goes up there. That goes back in there. There's my tiny paintbrush I was looking for this morning that I couldn't find. What happened? What do you mean, what happened? Nothing happened. I'm tidying my desk. That can go in there. Do I need that over there today? No, I don't think I do. Not right now, so I'll leave that over this side. It's rubbish. My cloth for painting, so these, and that, and that, and that one, and that, and my phone, and my corner rounder, and my hole punch, and my Dymo are going back over there. My pencils can stay this side. There's my thingy for my journal. It's just Rachel. Just Rachel. Always Rachel. She's a lost cause, I'm telling you. She's just... Okay. That glue needs to go back over there. That is my ruler for this table. Nope, that is my ruler for this table. Cutting ruler. Plastic ruler lives on the other table. This book can stay here. Those can stay here. There's my pen. Bits of paper, those can go over there. I'll take my stamps back over there so I know where they are, because I'm more likely to use them over there. That ink stays here. Right, okay. A little bit, it's not tidy by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a little more organised than it was earlier. Otherwise I'd never be able to find anything. So all I've got to do is move this pile back over to my other desk. There we go. Right, there we go. I think that's it for me for today. So did anybody answer about the journaling? Or did I miss it? No, nobody answered. Okay. I'll just do whatever I feel like doing at the time then, I guess. I just got a skull ring, but it's too big. Any ideas? What, too big for your finger or just too big? Unless it's... Yes, on journaling. Okay, thanks, Sue. Because I'm kind of doing a lot of this bookmaking, journaling type stuff, but it's separate to the stuff we're doing in class. And I don't want to overload class with loads and loads and loads and loads of things. But I've got stuff that I'm doing that I could share on YouTube. I've also decided we're doing the basic sewing over in class, but we're doing it for a reason. So the basic stitches that we're going to be using, I thought I would do very short, like 10-minute videos of the basic stitches. And share them on YouTube for anybody who wants to do some hand stitching in their journals. You've got a little bit of basics to play with. Because it's not really necessary to do the basics in class. I just need to do the basics in case there's one or two people who have no idea how to do it. I don't want to have to be sending them to go and find something else to go and learn how to do it and then come back. But I thought for like people who want to do, you know, basic hand stitching, if you just want to be able to do things like this where you just hand stitch something into your journal or hand stitch a little bit of something onto a tag or whatever, it's useful to know how to do things like running stitch or wrap stitch or something like that. And I could just do them, put them on YouTube as well. But they won't be scheduled live. What I'll probably do is film them and put them up like Mondays or something as a pre-recorded video, because they're literally only going to be like 10 minutes long, if that. But I thought it would be an extra fun little thing that you could do. Get your embroidery threads out and have a play. Just sewing bits in your journal. I mean, anybody can do in, out, in, out, in, out. But sometimes some people want to specifically do a nice stitch or something. I thought it would be fun to cover. So that's coming up next month. Yeah, that's it for now. That's all I've got for now, sorry. But this is what I'm into at the moment, and that's what I tend to share, is whatever I happen to be into for the moment. So you can expect some more of this kind of stuff. I actually want to make a book. I've got a couple of books I want to make and then working. So I was watching Gail, I think it's Agostinelli. I'm not very good at pronouncing other people's names. But is Ro talking about stitching for next month? Rachel, what are you on? Have you had too much coffee today? Like I said, I've got 3 of these books, and I'm using this one to take pages out of, so I might as well gut it and use the cover, because it's a nice cover. It's a nice size to put book pages in, and it's the size that I use. So I've got a couple of alternatives. I could either use this as the cover for my January, February, March, or I could use this as the cover for Gail made an idea book, and I really liked the idea of it. Like having a handmade book, like a junk journal type book, where she makes junk journal-y type things, like different pockets and like just different bits and pieces, but without the journaling bits, just as a reference book almost. And then she writes in where she got the idea from or who she got the tutorial from. Yeah, you could be not watching live but only 5 seconds behind though. YouTube is not very... Hey, shush. Yeah, I like the idea of having a creative book that I can show you how to do stuff without actually having to put it in my journal today. And then all the bits and pieces that I use for class, that I have nowhere to put it, I could put in my book as well. So I kind of like the idea of an idea book. After the video, I'll put Gail's link down below so you can go and check her out. She does all sorts of... She's a junk journaler, but she makes books to sell, and she does themed books and stuff like that, and she does a lot of... I've been watching her because she does a lot of sewing machine stuff, which is what I'm into at the moment. But I thought it would be cool to have like a reference book, because so often I make something or I do something and I think, oh, that'll be cool. And I know I've got the idea from something else that somebody else has done. I don't usually just go, oh, I'm going to do that too. It will, something somebody else does will spark an idea and I'll think, oh, what if I did such and such? So then I'll go off and do it, but then I'll forget where the original idea spark came from. And I do like to give credit and say, well, you know, this person did this, go and see what they did. But I'm doing this, which is slightly different, you know, because all ideas come from somewhere. Everywhere's done something and nobody owns an idea. But, you know, there's lots and lots of people giving out inspiration. And if the inspiration comes from somewhere, rather than just I'm playing with a bit of paper and I go, oh, I could do this, which is how I found that, actually. I stuck the corner of this envelope where I'd cut the envelope. Oh, look, it's got a bluebird on it. I didn't notice that. Huh. I stuck this on the corner because I used them like bookmarks. But it wasn't until Luna Rosu started using these and actually stuck something underneath it. And I thought, huh, it would never have occurred to me to use it as a tuck spot, because to me, that's a pocket and it's upside down, therefore things will fall out. But the way she'd done this and then she'd stitched around it, it works to just hold something in. You know, it doesn't fall out. But I hadn't thought of doing that before, and she did it with something else, but I've used a corner of an envelope. So my idea is slightly different, but it's adapted from her idea, if that makes sense. So it would be quite nice to kind of do that in a book and add it to the book and then kind of make, you know, this is how I came across this idea. This is where I got this idea from. And then I can write in, oh, you know, when I did this, I got it from Luna Rosu and she'd done this. And yeah, basically the story I've just told you. But I've got it there for me to reference. So in 6 months' time, I'm not going, who the hell did I get that idea off? Will I be here Friday, as far as I know? Wednesdays and Fridays at 4 on YouTube. Unless other things happen. We have lots of snowstorms and things coming in, so who knows? I might have no electricity on Friday. We really don't know. But yeah, unless there's a reason for me not to be, I will be here. Do you know, the more I think about putting that little dog at the end there as just a... Because it's going to be a full book. It's not the end of the journal. It's just the end of the signature, and we'll be putting more together. I'm just thinking that little dog would be so cute there. Like the end. The end of January. Isn't he awesome? He's so sweet. Little sleepy puppy. I'm going to put him there. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I've got plenty of these little puppy things. I think this was from Flow magazine. It's one of those squares of photo pages that they do. But I've seen this before, like at the end of a chapter or something. A lot of books will do a little decorative thing, kind of in between the chapters. I think he's cute. I could always do like a little border or something in ink, or doodle a little border around him, like an end plate, end of chapter kind of thing. You know what I mean, don't you? I just think he's really cute. I like him there. And he goes with my theme, Be More Dog. So, see these journals are the same size as this book, so in theory I could gut this book and use this book as my cover. But then I've still got 2 more of these books, and I'm only keeping one of them to use, or as a book. So, Taylor, I'm about to wrap up at Burgess. I'm about to wrap up. Who was I talking to just now? Who was it talking about tarot cards? Jen, was it? Jess? Jessica? Jessie. There's Burgess. Click on her name, follow over to her channel. She does, she's a writer, and she does creative writing using tarot cards as characters. Building novels using the characters from the tarot cards. So go check out. I don't know which channel it is that she'll be on doing it, but yeah, I'm just wrapping up, sorry. I will be back Friday. Class tomorrow for those who are in When Frogs Sing 2019. If you are not signed up for When Frogs Sing 2019 and you want to be, don't forget that up until tomorrow midnight, end of January, you can get When Frogs Sing 2019 and get 2018, the whole year of stuff that we did last year, for half price as self-study. So if you want that, it's only available till tomorrow, and then that's it. Well, you can still join When Frogs Sing 2019. It works exactly the same way as Patreon, but, you know. Oh, and I have something coming up on Patreon as well. I've just got to figure out the logistics behind it, because I can't do too much extra for it. But, yeah, at some point something else will be starting on Patreon, which will be fun. You're doing a new series on that, on Journey with Burgess. I always read that as Journal with Burgess. I feel like I'm going out of my mind now. Okay, I'm going now. Bye.